starting in the middle of July 31st. We had just come up to the door. Well, actually, there was no door, only a doorway. And John Roy said, "Whoa!" And Sally Lynn gasped and backed right into me. And I said, "What is it? What's the matter?" John Roy whispered, "Somebody's been here. Look." He pointed to some charred logs on the ground in front of the doorway. "That's recent," he whispered. Then Sally Lynn said, "Lord Almighty, gum wrappers." Then, before I could really see the gum wrappers, John Roy said, "Let's get out of here." And Sally Lynn yelped, and they took off running. John Roy dropped the backpack with the lunch inside. "Wait!" I shouted, but they didn't even turn around. They just kept on running, so I took off after them. John Roy shouted back, "Quit shouting! It's the convict! He's here!" Once in 5th grade, I won first place in the 100-yard dash at the school sports day. I ran like the wind that day, but compared to today, I bet that 5th grade dash was a turtle crawl. I ran like crazy. I was sure that convict was going to reach out from behind any tree and grab me. The worst part was that I couldn't see either John Roy or Sally Lynn anymore. I could hear people running, but I couldn't see them, and I sure couldn't see any path, and I was just running and running. All I knew was that I was aiming downhill, but I had no idea where I was going, other than down. Then I lost my sandal, but I kept on running. I was afraid that I was running right straight toward the convict, or he was right behind me. I ran and ran. It seemed like forever before I came to a creek at the bottom of the hill, but it wasn't the place where we had started climbing. No sign of John Roy or Sally Lynn. I was sure the convict had already caught them. I figured I was going to have to find some help. Quick. I ran along the stream, thinking it had to lead somewhere. And finally, I came to the swimming hole, so I knew where I was. I ran all the way up that hill, and when I saw the house, I started shouting for help and screaming my stupid lungs out. Aunt Radian came out of the house, and I was flailing my arms around, telling her about the convict and how he must have got John Roy and Sally Lynn, and we had to get the police right away. I was so out of breath, I thought I was going to pass out. The whole time I was trying to explain, Aunt Radian stood there, looking at me as if I had lost all my marbles. Finally, she said, "Shh, come on inside." I didn't want to go inside. I wanted her to hurry up and get some help, and I wanted her to run, not poke along like she was doing. Then, all of a sudden, I see John Roy and Sally Lynn come strolling out of the house, each one drinking a glass of lemonade. "Where have you been, Mary Lou?" John Roy asked. "Yeah, where you been?" said Sally Lynn. I stared at them. Where have I been? Where have I been? Where in Alpha and Omega's name have you been? You two been? I thought I was going to faint dead away right there. "Alpha and Omega," said John Roy. "What you talking about?" said Sally Lynn. "The convict," I said. "Where'd you go? I lost you." "Looks like you lost your shoe," said John Roy. "Yeah, where's your shoe at?" said Sally Lynn. Aunt Radian was standing there, looking from them to me and back again. "John Roy," she said. "Sally Lynn." But then I went crazy. I ran inside and upstairs and fell on the bed, and I bet I sobbed for 15 minutes. After a while, I heard Aunt Radian come up and say, "Mary Lou," but I pretended like I was asleep. Then I did fall asleep, and I slept right up until dinner time, but I decided not to go downstairs. I decided I wouldn't eat until Carl Ray promised to take me home. Carl Ray is the one who finally came upstairs to tell me dinner was ready. I pretended to be asleep, but he sat down in the chair by the bed, and picked up my Odyssey and started reading. Finally, I decided to open my eyes or they were going to start twitching. I said, "What part are you on?" "Where Telemachus realizes who the beggar is." "Oh, yeah. and Telemachus and Odysseus cry, Carl Ray, can we go home? I am home. Take me to my home. Can we go back, please? I thought I was going to start crying again. He nodded. Does that mean we're going on Friday? Can we go before Friday, please? You could go out with Beth Ann, then don't you think you should get back? What if Beth Ann finds somebody else? Somebody else? Yeah, like, what if her old boyfriend comes back? Old boyfriend? Oh gosh, Carl Ray, you're not her first boyfriend. I guess I shouldn't have said that. He looked sad. Can't go home before Thursday. Okay, then Thursday. Could we leave Thursday? Yep. Oh, I wanted to jump up and kiss that cabbage-headed old Carl Ray. I felt better just knowing we could leave one day sooner. So I went downstairs with Carl Ray for dinner. Carl Ray is okay. I thought everybody would fall all over themselves teasing me about Booger Hill and the convict. But Aunt Radine must have threatened them because no one said a word to me all through dinner. John Roy and Sally Lynn didn't say anything to anyone at all. They just stared down at their plates. We're going home Thursday, day after tomorrow. Wednesday, August 1st. Ugh, what a horrible morning. I can't wait to get out of here. I don't care if I never come here again. First of all, I woke up with a headache and an earache. The headache was from not getting much sleep again. I had horrible dreams about being on a ship, and I was trying to get home, and there was this awful storm that made the ship toss and roll around, and we couldn't see where we were going. Carl Ray was there. I think he was the captain. Anyway, I just knew I was going to die before I got home. I kept praying to Athena to please let me go home. Let me get home. And if she got me home, I would be a much better person. I woke up before we ever got anywhere, so I don't know what would have happened. I didn't want to go to sleep again because I was afraid I would be back on the ship. So I lay there, thinking about Alex and Mom and Dad and Maggie and Dennis and Tommy and Dougie. I tried to picture their faces and hear their voices. The earache is from swimming in the swimming hole, I think. It hurts so bad. I can hardly open my mouth. I tried to get Aunt Radine to take me to the doctor, but she said an earache was no reason to go to the doctor. I told her that I might be dying. She said she had a remedy. Do you know what she poured in my ear? Olive oil. Honestly, I'm not a salad. And I still have an earache. But worse yet was what I heard Sue Ann and Sally Lynn say about me. I came back in from the outhouse, and I was about to go upstairs when I heard Aunt Radine's voice in the living room. I thought I would go in and tell her that my earache wasn't any better, but I stopped when I heard Sue Ann say, and she's such a baby. Then it went like this. Well, now that's no bracelet. Lordy, Mom, she don't do stitch work. Have you seen her wash a single dish? And she doesn't make up her bed. I have to make up her stupid bed.